Hi Cancer, welcome to your February 2024 Astro Tarot Scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, these are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign, but if you're only going to watch one, make sure it's for your ascendant or your rising sign. It's going to be that much more accurate for you on the day-to-day level. With that said, if you would like to book your personal Astro Tarot Scope with me, you can do so on the link in the description box below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, my lunar brothers and sisters, let's pop these to the side. Also worth mentioning, if you are watching this at the time, then spaces for my tarot course are up and out there for your purchasing pleasure. Remember, there's only 20 spaces and I keep the group deliberately small so that I can give you as much time and attention as I possibly can. All right, so with that, you're first. Should I say you're first? Now, I do want to preface, a lot of this reading is going to be about Pluto, right? I'm just going to tell you straight up. Hence the title. Pluto is moving into, on the 21st of January, Pluto moved back into the sign of Aquarius. 2023, March 7th, we had about 6 or 7 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks where Pluto was in Aquarius. We had a little bit of a taster. This time round, it's going to be there from January 21st right the way through to like the 8th of September. It's going to dip back into Capricorn for like not even a full 2 months. And then on the 20th of November, boom, it comes back into the sign of Aquarius, which for you occupies the 8th house, right? So there's a big emphasis on the 8th house of challenge, crisis, conflict. But remember, the 8th house is also other people's money, transformation, transformative energies. It also represents your fears and your deep psychology, right? So there's no getting around the fact that this transit is going to be intense for you guys, but the big changes that are ahead for you, whichever way you paint it, could actually be some of the best stuff that happens to you in your life. Is it going to be intense? Yes, absolutely. In all senses of these planets that we're going to talk about shortly, everything that comes into the 8th house comes into the 8th house to be transformed. In order to transform, it has to perish so that it can rise again, right? It's never an easy process, but it's a vital and a very often it ends up being a liberating one at that. Now, this is a big deal because last year when Pluto was in Aquarius, it didn't touch any of the, aside from by aspect, but it didn't touch any of the personal planets. Whereas this month, you have 3. You've got Mercury, Mars and Venus all coming into a conjunction, starting brand new cycles with Pluto, right? So this is a big deal. Now, on the 5th of the month, Mercury is going to come into your 8th house and it's going to conjunct Pluto, right, at 0 degrees. Now, 0 degrees is a big deal because if you cast your mind back to, I think it was December of 2020, we had Jupiter and Saturn come into the Great Conjunction, as it's known, at 0 degrees of Aquarius. This is highlighting that, right? Pluto's already kind of given us a taste of what that's likely to look like, but you're highlighting this same point yet again. What was happening for you around that time in 2020? Yes, I'm aware of what was happening for all of us, but I'm talking about what was happening for you specifically. Now, in your chart, Mercury rules your 3rd house, which is occupied by Virgo. And it also rules your 12th house, which is occupied by Gemini. Coming into a conjunction with Pluto in your 8th house, this means that secrets from the past are very likely to be coming to light here. Some big, deep realization is going to unfold. Pluto is power, control. It is, the hidden depths. It's what is not spoken. It's the undercurrents. But it also represents transformation energy, right? Transformative energy. It also represents big money usually, right? Now, in the 8th house, which is sex, sensuality, death, the taboo, all of that stuff, This is likely to be something around romance, pleasure, sexuality and sensuality. A conversation of some kind, Mercury, could see you learning something deeper, something at a much deeper level about yourself, how you love, who you love. This could also be coming out, right? But could also be a personal growing into your own sexuality. So for some of you, this could be that this could be for some of you, and I hate to say this because, being a part of the rainbow community myself, I went through the process of coming out and it really wasn't very easy for me. You hear these wonderful stories of how people had this wonderful experience and they were all embraced and it was so lovely. I didn't have that. And I know very often when you're outed without your consent or your decision, you feel like you've been robbed or violated in some way. If this is a secret that you have, I'm not telling you that you now suddenly need to sing from the rooftops. I am saying if this is a secret that you have, it's possible with this combination of energies that somebody could out you. So, watch out for this. It's kind of like one of those, if you know it's coming, you get ahead of it, right? Now, if you are single, regardless, for all of you, in some way your sexual identity could be going through some kind of transformation. It's also possible that you could start speaking to someone, if you're single, who really awakens something sexual and powerful and primal within you. Anything to do with Pluto is deep. It's going to come with a level of intensity, and the 8th house is not a fluffy one by any measure. Right now, you are likely to meet this person through a sibling, through your local neighborhood, or even through somebody from your past. That's possible because the 12th house is indicated through Mercury. Be careful, because this could go all the way into infatuation, whether this is you being infatuated with them or them with you. Right now, let's have a look at your cards for this transit. And you have now also 8th house being other people's money. This could be secrets that come to light, or it could be a transaction of some sort that unlocks or brings a secret or some kind of information to light. So for this, you've got the Queen of Swords, you've got the 9 of Cups, and you've got the 9 of Pentacles, the two nice 9s, right? 2 9s represents receipts. How many people have been caught out because of their receipts? How many, even Whitney Houston sang like, "'Cause I found your credit card receipt." Sometimes I really I think, come on, Raph. But you get my point, right? So, and this isn't, first of all, let me say, no judgment, you do you, right? But that's just one way that this could come out. Because you've got the Queen of Swords here, usually an air sign woman, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. As a person, this could be somebody who really facilitates some kind of healing for you, who really gets you to tap back into yourself, because the 8th house is psychology. You could start a therapeutic process at this time to really uncover and discover who you are at the deepest levels of self, and why you like what you like, why you are who you are. That's one of the really positive ways this can show up for you, because the 8th house, you'll never get therapy. Like, over the next 20 years, if you delve into therapy or therapeutic or healing processes, this will help you really get to the bottom of what your stuff actually is. None of the surface stuff, right to the heart of matters. Yeah, I think I'll leave it there, because otherwise I'll just go on a massive tangent. Now, as if that wasn't enough, Mars, the planet of action, energy, passion, desire, willpower, friction, irritation, excitation, passion, annoyance, anger, frustration, war. Your ruler of your 10th house of career, and also your 5th house of pleasure and romance and joy. This is likely to be, because it's Mars brings its own intensity. Conjunct Pluto is bringing another layer to this, and potentially an explosive one. Now, that being said, and I'm going to get into this because the 8th house is an occult house, right? This is about power. The 8th house is about power, right? It's Pluto or Mars's natural domain. And so this really is about power. This will see you learning how to use, how to control, how to exude your personal power. Learn well at this time. Pluto is an energy of intensity. Pluto is a very psychic energy as well. Very powerful and even deadly. Now, you being the sign of Cancer, I know I'm slightly biased, but as far as I'm concerned, Cancer is the most psychic of the signs. Mars being the ruler of your career and your 5th house sector, which is children, romance, pleasure, joy. This could be a secret affair of some sort that comes to light at this time and causes a scandal. If this is you, be mindful. Let's say, touch wood, just putting it out there as an example, let's say you're married, right, with children, same-sex relationship, and the scandal that comes out is that you've been seeing somebody of the same sex. Just one way. It's not a guarantee. It's not for everybody. It doesn't mean that this is happening to all of you at once. I'm just saying this is a possibility, right? And with this combination in the 8th house, there's no getting around it. This is not a fluffy house. These are not fluffy planets. Pluto and Mars are both known as malefics, right? If you've been with me long enough, you're not bothered by anything that I'm saying because you know to use your own discernment. And you're also not bothered by this because you know that here in the Reydiant Nation, we go into the deep stuff. We don't shy away from what the harsh possibilities of the world, life and experience are. All right, now, that aside. It could be that you start working on a project that brings you into your personal power because the 5th house is projects. It could also be that the depth of your power to create is something that you now start to really learn to access at the same time, right? So I love this for you. It could be issues around children if you have them. Since all of this is happening in the place of other people's money, you could gain an insight into some kind of speculative endeavor or something along those lines that will show you where to put your money and how it could increase your wealth in a big way. This could be that you get some kind of secret tip. Somebody says to you, you know, this is going to explode or this is going to blow up, or you know, go for it, get in after it, all the rest of it. Obviously use your own discernment, make sure that it's right for you. Do be mindful that this combination can be explosive. Measured steps and measured actions are absolutely needed here because all of this is happening and has an element of your career around it. You are seen or viewed or even spoken about is also coming to play here because the 10th house is indicated by Mars. This is you in a very public light, right? And it might be something really uncomfortable because Cancer, you know, most of the time Cancer's okay being seen. But every so often they want to retreat to the Cancer cave. If you've been with me long enough, you know all about that. So you've got the 6 of Pentacles. Give and take is an important part of this. You've got the Hierophant card. So again, I urge those of you that are married, no judgment. I'm not saying one way or another, but if you are married and you are in a relationship that you are either unhappy about or with, I urge you to be open and to speak to your partner. And I also say, like, if there are problems or challenges within the relationship, this might be a time for you to get really honest about what they are. So, if you're single at this time as well, I mean, look, the 6 of Pentacles can be around money and finances and usually like charity, stuff like that. But because you've got the Hierophant involved here, this could also be another 8th house topic, which is inheritance. So this could be that there's a passing of some sort and now you're expected to deal with the paperwork and you've got to disseminate all of the funds or, you know, all of the resources. On the 22nd of February, Mars and Venus are coming into a conjunction. The celestial lovers, right, are coming into a connection. And because it's only about 7-degree orb from Pluto, it's still considered, you know, what we would consider a conjunction to Pluto. Now, this is coming in, and it's definitely going to take the edge off of things, because wherever Venus goes, she brings soothing balms and healing, right? It will soften the potency and the irritative quality of Mars. Venus for you rules your friendships, and it also rules your home and family. So this could be gifts that come into those spaces for you, or from those spaces, which obviously is lovely. It could also be a highlighting of some sort of talent that you have, or even some kind of luxury that you possess already could start to be seen as valuable or rare, or even, you know, straight up just desirable. Such an emphasis on all of this 8th house energy. This is going to be a moment when it all kind of calms down a bit, and the realization comes as to what it's all for, and how, when it all finally sort of comes together, you will be changed for the better. So all of this 8th house stuff, you get a breather here around the, let's say, the 21st, the 22nd and the 23rd. You get a moment to kind of catch your breath and go, okay, this has been a lot of Pluto, it's been a lot of intensity, but when I'm done with this, a long time into the future, by the way, remember, you've got this until September, out into Capricorn, back into Aquarius for the next 20 years. So it's not like oh yeah, you know, this is what it's all gonna be like soon and rosy. It's going to really highlight to you what it's all for, right? Venus brings healing, and while the 8th house is a crisis house, it's the deepest healing that you can do. You got this with the 4 of Pentacles, but you've got to be clear on what it is that you're ready, willing and able to let go of. There you have the Queen of Cups. Whether you're a man or a woman is irrelevant. The Queen of Cups is a very Cancerian energy. And this is really about nurturing your emotions and really allowing yourself to release on a physical, mental and even spiritual level what really no longer serves. And with the 10 of Wands, the message behind this triplet is you are in control and you're coming into your personal power, and it's going to be you, Cancer, that liberates yourself moving forward. All right, powerful, powerful stuff. As if that wasn't enough, on the 28th of the month, the Sun in Pisces in your 9th house, Mercury in Pisces in your 9th house, and Saturn in Pisces in your 9th house. I mean, that's not really all of it either, because Neptune is in there as well at the same time. But for now, this combination happens at 10 degrees, right? Saturn for you rules your 7th of Capricorn, your 8th of Aquarius. Mercury rules your 3rd house of Virgo, and also your 12th house of, and then obviously the Sun rules your 2nd house of money. This is a decidedly financial element, right? There's something financial or resource based here in your 9th house where all of this comes together. And I really like this for considering things like immigration, change of location, but that's a longer term arc. And so right now you could be very quickly realizing, okay, I want to make this move, but in order to make this move, I'm going to have to front some serious cash. And you start crunching the numbers and you realize, whoa, okay, I got a lot of, you know, a shortfall to make up in some regard. Now, in the meantime, you might also be deciding what you want to spend money on when it comes to study, practice in some regard that enhances your spiritual and your material life. I also like this for the highlighting of a connection when it comes to relationships. Also, that study element, because it is the 9th house, maybe you're taking my tarot course. All right, if you're single, it could bring more light around this, and if you're partnered, it could also bring more to light around the financial and even long term of the relationship itself. So where you guys are heading as a financial collective could be highlighted here, and if there are problems, challenges or issues, this is the time where you'll be able to really approach it. It will be a longer term approach, but this could be where the dialogue happens that really facilitates that change. Okay, so on the 9th of February, oh, no, we're not done yet. Your cards for this are the 4 of Cups, the 8 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Wands. Yeah, so a really open dialogue about how you feel about something. Cancer craves security, and so therefore Cancer tends to do very well with money and is good at managing the whole thing because money brings security. not an exact science. Not every Cancerian you meet will have savings and be really good with it, but a lot of them are. This Eight of Wands with the the Eight of Pentacles with the Seven of Wands, there is a consideration here around money and resources, and also it's almost like there's a conversation that you have with a partner, if you have one, or maybe just with yourself, where you say, right, the work that I'm doing is yielding good results, and you know the money is coming in, but it's not going far enough, and I need to look at where the holes in the ship are. Okay. For your moons, on the 9th of February, you're going to have the new moon in the sign of Aquarius. Again, that's in your 8th house, right? This 8th house space is being lit up for you this month in a huge, huge way. And the 8th house, a fresh start with your karma, but it could just as easily be a fresh start with occult matters, right? Your psychic awareness and ability could be getting a massive upgrade, and is going to get a massive upgrade over the next 20 years, as if you even need it, right? On top of that, your own psychological makeup is going through a powerful shift at this time, and this new moon is really showing you that if you do the work and you dream big, huge strides are possible, because the gate 23 and assimilate, this card represents your dreams, but it represents the process of understanding what the steps are that are going to make that real, right? It's really, this new moon is going to show you, or at least you plant a seed towards a future that you envision in some way, and you understand how it's going to unfold. All right. And then for your full moon, which is happening across your 3rd and 9th house axis, with the new moon, the full moon in the sign of Virgo is highlighting your 3rd house. You got the gate 17 and opinions, right? So where your opinions differ from others, where it's unpopular, where maybe it doesn't see, the light of day, let's say, or isn't meted or greeted with the opinion that you would like, you are going to find a way to dismiss this. Now, because it's the 3rd house and it's occupied by Virgo, this might also be that you come to realize very quickly that some of the details around your communication are off, or maybe that the message that you're putting forward in some way is not as above board, but it's not, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's not as clear or as precise as it needs to be in order to land, right? And obviously the moon is you. So it's, and being in the 3rd house, it's gonna, moon is exalted in the 3rd house, I might add, right? So Luna does very good work in the 3rd house. She likes to be there, and she likes being in earth signs, because all of those ideas and those thoughts and feelings can become real. But if, we saw that with the new moon, if you allow other people's opinions to get in the way or to stop you in your tracks, the chances are it's going to be that much harder to reach the destination that you're aiming for. If you would like to get your personal oh gosh, come on brain. Yeah, if you would like to get your personal Astro Tarot scope done with me, I would love to read your chart. You know what to do on the link in the description box below. If you would like to get your space on my tarot course, you know what to do. It would be wonderful to have you. With that said, my Lunar brothers and sisters, let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.